BBL crushing Liquid here on a set.
I might be still going when NA challenges are. Yeah, if I do NA challenges, I think I'd literally be doing a 24-hour stream. So I'm not going to do that.
Send us to bind to close things out. And the play there, while everyone on Liquid was distracted with the sole player on site, the rotates came in so quickly. There were two players swinging out from heaven. Turco and Kushner just taking names, while Team Liquid were looking at the ground.
Didn't have time to bring out any of the ults that saved. They did 4 on site going into the round, but used 1. Nice is all that came out. Absolute slaughter. Beautiful game. I'm really excited for Bind. I know you guys are saying the last couple of weeks. I wasn't here last week or the week before.
Well, also, there's so little footage on Bind just yet that you can't even make a full read.
There's such a freshness to it, absolutely.
Yeah. Koi versus Heretics, all 3 maps OT. I might go to bed.
Have played in the past, but so many switches. And,
welcome to my life off stream.
Try and see if whether or not Team Liquid can lock third, or if we're gonna have the 4-4 tie all across the board.
The series really
I don't even think I'd be able to sleep for 7 hours. I don't think that. I think it'd be way less than that.
And then Bind awaits. See you soon.
I wonder if... Oh, at this point, easy. It's only like 8 PM. Okay, well that is... I can't believe 62% of people bet on Team Liquid. I'm genuinely... I'm blown away by that fact. All right, let's do a map 3. BBL Team Liquid prediction. If EMEA go competitive, honestly, I don't know which stream's gonna be longer at this point. Right, I'm gonna go to the bathroom and I'm gonna be a piece of shit and run a fucking ad, because why not? I think I deserve it. It's probably not going to do anything, but I'm genuinely curious. So, while I'm in the bathroom, enjoy.
Red Bull gives you wings.
0 distraction. 0 doubt. 0 opposition.
Usually when I see a target, I won't miss. I try to find weaknesses wherever they are and just game by game try to pick up on anything I can. So this training course is a way for me to really showcase and demonstrate all the questions you guys have been asking, you know, how to get better aim, and it really enables me to answer a lot more and kind of expand on the first video I made like so long ago about Valorant fundamentals.
Now? Sure. Switch up to a new phone when it suits you, and we'll pay off your current contract.
Now?
Yep, absolutely.
How now?
Only with O2. O2, see what you can do.
Not now.
The legend will never die!
I'm on my last life.
What happened to your other 8 lives?
Does this have shellfish in it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
The wishing star.
When you run ads and you get more ads yourself.
Things go wrong.
Trust me.
You gotta trust him. Look at those eyes. You call that cute? And with the paws.
Puss in Boots.
I missed this entire map. Thanks for the curse. What do you mean? I didn't curse anyone. Didn't get an ad? That's because you're subbed. That's how that works. That's the value of subbing, other than just to be kind and get some emotes. Who the fuck will watch Koi versus Heretics? You guys. You're going to stay and watch with me, right? We're all going to hang out together and watch. I honestly sub so you feel bad if you ignore any of my DFM messages, but they're fun. Voice com video watch? Ah, we'll watch the desk. We'll watch the desk. I've watched so many videos today. Subs still get ads? No, they don't. When I watch anyone I'm sub to, I don't get any ads. And that's one of the main reasons I hang out in those streams the most. What happened? I got ads while I was subbed to Sliggy. That's weird. The streamer can choose if so. Oh, I didn't know that. So that means Sliggy wanted you to have ads. In the T1 Zeta match, it was a relatively close game. It was just that third map of Bind. You just saw them blitz. I also think Ban had a really good series, and so did Sire Player. Watch all the Pacific vlogs? Yeah. Rest Sliggy L. Hey, Sliggy deserves every penny he gets for being live this long on a daily basis. Like, I'm on 11 hours. This man does this regularly, and it is tough. It's tough to be on camera for this long.
Welcome back to the show. We're gonna bring you here.
No, you shouldn't watch Stranger Things. You should watch me.
Of how BBL played this Ascent map that we just saw them crushing 13-7 Team Liquid. So we're bringing in first 10 seconds of this Ascent attack from BBL. And as you can see, they do a lot of pressure on A main and B main, but also follow up on mid during the first wave. Now, Salah, during the break, you were explaining to me the concept on how you want to plan the attack on this map based around rotations of your opponents.
Yeah, so I think what BBL and Sachini specifically does very well is they kind of have an understanding of where people are going to be at certain intervals on the map. They know, for example, when you're looking more towards the first interval, the first wave, that it's going to be a 2-1-2. And
Turkish team is good at Ascent. It is a very big surprise, honestly. Like, I don't, I'm shocked. Right? I didn't see it coming.
Know, if we go A lobby, it's going to be
my mind is blown.
One's going to be in market and one's going to be two's going to be in B, right? They understand this, and when they go more towards the second interval, for example, they understand that the rotations are generally going to happen between that 140 to 1 minute mark, and it's almost as if they always know what the correct timing is to abuse those rotations and to always catch those rotations just off guard.
So, and that happens because they are able to read into the opposing utility that was being used during the first interval.
What do you think?
Right?
Which one seemed good?
They play into the A lobby,
what do you mean?
Into the B lobby, they see the response of the opponents. If the certain utility is being used, if they get
region
even
is better? Like,
frag, that
what fan base is better? What's the question?
Let's say amplifies the rotations from the defenders to make it earlier. So what is very important now, the second cycle, we're gonna increase the entire duration here, or actually we're gonna isolate the second cycle. So from mark of 0.
Which region has the better ball guy? Oh, definitely Pacific. They've got paper thin. Which region is better? Probably EMEA. If I'm being honest, we've got Fnatic. It's hard not to say that. Scream IGL over Pacific. Okay, well that's crazy talk.
And then these individual lines are generally going to be one. So we saw a lot of Kushnerix, for example, he would be by himself while his team would be in lobby. Arslan also does almost the same role. And I think generally what's happening is if they're pressuring in A lobby, they are either going to wait there and wait for this solo lurk to come in and maybe take effect, second contact or first contact, or they're going to try and bleed dry util, force the market rotation to come into short like this, for example, and then go to the other side where they can catch that rotation while he's still in this area.
And they actually did that very well.
Pacific has the best breach in the world, though. Who would that be? And I know you're going to say something, but I'm going to ask the question anyway.
Actually happening and them reading into that showcases how their own attack helps them during the
someone. Oh,
exactly. All right.
It was a different answer.
Pretty helpful for the viewers. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I'm going to go back to the desk.
Well, lads, I said I said before that if you want to have a chance against BBL, and if you don't want to take a risk, you gotta ban Ascent. In the pre-show, I even said, hey, Liquid, you gotta do it. I'm expecting you to do it. You guys didn't do it. You know, I'm not going to bring it up again. Liquid didn't do it. They lose on Ascent. When are teams going to start to take this seriously and just ban this map against them? Because Lothar, it's
nothing.
Just
Yeah,
not
there you
worth
go.
it,
Nothing is the
always,
best.
Do this to everyone.
You know what's funny is that this Ascent map is being considered a Turkish map for the past 3 years, isn't it, Salah?
Inception of time, I think.
I would say almost that's one of also the reasons why they're so good on it. It feels like every single player from BBL feels so comfortable in every single fight they
someone
take.
plays an
When
owl.
they're going into B site, for example, and they're fighting. They're all
How does he
fighting
get in
different
an
areas,
owl?
Right? They're taking their one-on-one fights. They always win the one-on-one fights. They always feel so.
None of this
comfortable
is
compared to,
funny, Ryan.
When it was us or when it was Liquid, we look uncomfortable.
And
in
Fnatic,
comparison. Even
same.
Fnatic as well. They just seem so natural in those positions.
I think the key word there is always. This is not an isolated incident. They just do this every time, and I'm getting kind of sick of it. I wonder if FUT's going to actually ban it next week. But
What is in the games
perfect
tomorrow?
for them.
Yeah,
I think
I'll stream
on
the Pacific
Split, they
games
really
tomorrow.
struggled against Nat, and I think it was a similar story here, especially in the beginning. The traps, they were just a little bit unaware, it felt like.
Yeah, I think.
Did BBL win?
They were
Map 2,
unaware.
yeah.
Nats
We're going
had,
map
you know,
3.
pretty good. He was adapting his traps, changing them a lot. But I think also
Yeah, Salah makes me
we're in a
frightened
meta where
if
Killjoy
I ever
played
want to
much more.
work
So
the
I
desk
think it
again,
can be a
because
thing
he's
where if
very
you're
good
only
at it.
scrimming against teams that play Killjoy, when you come up against the Cypher, it can be just it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like you've ever done this.
Adapt a little
exactly, and that is a momentary thing, right? And also, Nats is extremely good at playing this way. So
yeah, but talking about the Cypher and the Killjoy, one more thing that was very interesting for me.
Hopefully
from
Ye
the
goes
perspective is that
69 and
when
0.
They were actually playing on defense.
If it goes to 3 maps, he might still lose off that
scoreline
scoreline.
with the Killjoy lockdown. But instead, they were actually stacking the A side with the Killjoy utility, and that was very visible in round 23 when they just, sorry, not round 23, that was round second to last, when Liquid went into the Killjoy lockdown, Killjoy Nanoswarms through the Metal Door.
Hope DRX versus Team Secret is a banger.
Straight up into a trap because they didn't expect the
Is
Killjoy
he eating
to be there,
crisps?
and they ran out of time.
I think
Yeah.
that's the definition of almost when everyone
that
is playing a
okay?
certain way and when there's a certain
Is that
meta of
alright?
how you're supposed to play with
Am I
Killjoy.
allowed to?
The first thing when you play Killjoy that comes to mind is a retake, right? And that's BBL saying, okay, we know their counterplay. We know that they're going to think it's retake, so we can walk in for free, and we're going to counter that by.
I don't know
doing
what you
almost
mean,
the
Anime.
opposite and playing
I
it
think
to
this is
angle.
all in your head.
It was actually really well thought out, and I liked how they tricked Liquid into thinking that, because Liquid was drawing out utility first from other areas, and they fully expected that rotation to happen later, so the short push was, for them, in their mind, free.
I mean, this is what they do on
No,
Ascent,
Tom, no
though.
Chris.
None
All
of
right.
this is a surprise. I feel like we could have done that segment blind, even going into this match, and everything that you guys said would have happened. But the question is,
They will change your
moving on
life?
to the
Oh, okay.
last map, Bind, I think we got to throw a few things out the window. I think for Split, we thought
Sweet
that Liquid
stuff
were going
in
to win
more
that.
quantity
Ascent,
or
we
hot
knew BBL
food?
We're going to win that. But Lothar, Bind is just still a little bit newer in terms of it returning
Both?
to the map pool.
Newer returning to the map pool has a huge history in the past, of course, but I do think that many teams approach it very similar to how Fracture was approached. It seems like Fnatic in our region was always ahead of the metagame.
What do you mean by hot? Do you mean like spicy? Or do you mean specifically just hot meals?
Like how Cypher seems to be the counter to the metagame on this map, but I'm not certain if many teams are actually realizing that yet, and because we have seen, for example, BBL
spicy.
play Bind without a Sentinel yet, right? So how do you stop that Viper on short that has this very oppressive setup of
I think it
wall
varies
and the
quite
smoke
heavily
on
in different
lamp,
spots
and
in
essentially
Europe.
give you so much free space on attack, and attack is instrumental on Bind.
You guys want to go break down Bind from the last time?
Yeah.
Although
I think
we
there's a
haven't
good
seen it
mix.
a
I don't
whole
think
lot.
there's
I mean,
like
I'll let
one
you watch
specific
while I
like.
say this. We haven't seen it that much. I feel
This
like we
place
take it with a
only
pinch of
eats-
salt. But having said that, the meta, like you said, it hasn't really changed at all
Crisps,
since the last time
also
we saw
known as
Yeah,
chips,
not
if you're
many
from somewhere
changes,
else.
though. We're gonna bring in the BBL versus Koi game from the past, and this is gonna be how BBL approach attack movement during this map when they plant on B or when they plant on A. So we're gonna first isolate the A hits. The A hits, as you can see,
That's
on the
good
heat
for,
map,
so I'm glad.
are actually mostly based through short, and many teams actually approach it through showers. Now, Salah, how important is
Valorant has been good.
are those extremities when the orbs are
To
controlled?
be honest, esports as
I
a
would
whole
say
is
this.
great.
When you have bathroom control and short control, for example, short it's not something either side can really
I
control.
met a
It's
lot
either
of
you're there or you're not there. when
really
you're
great
controllers,
people
the attackers, it will
through
almost automatically
esports.
allow you to take full sight easier. If you only have short and you do not have bathrooms, it's almost impossible to take full sight, in my opinion. It shouldn't work.
And also, how much is that affected if you play Sage or not?
If the defense,
Yeah, obviously, Daniel. Unfortunately, there are some bad eggs.
Sage, then we will see situations where they go out short and they just want to put the wall up and just plant, right?
Yeah.
But this can be, there's counterplay to this. You know, I think even against us, for example, Fnatic, they would just destroy that wall instantly. They would throw a lot of good counter util, and it becomes impossible almost to plant. And now you're in a situation where you're very clumped up here.
Exactly, because you don't have the shower control.
Exactly.
Right?
And when you do have that showers control, it allows you
being
to
a
alleviate
scare actor.
anything from backside. It makes it basically so that it's very hard for the defenders to play backside, and they have to play more in this area or even full retake.
All right, so that's very helpful. And now we're gonna go to B side, and this is actually super interesting because when they go to B side, they actually don't control.
You scream to people in the
any
dark for
part of
fun.
the other
See,
side
I
of
did
the
that. I
map.
just don't get
Now,
paid.
signaling those tells that you don't really do any kind of pressure at all on the other side of the map is something that teams are basing rotations on.
Yes and no. I would say when you pressure showers, generally speaking, for example, if the
Ascension teams playing champs, no.
Showers, generally you should force a rotation.
The winning
rotations are
Ascension
so long that if you're
team
making
from
that
each
rotation, you're almost
region
running a
joins
risk
the
of
league.
overstacking or overcommitting, right? So
They don't go to champs.
But Bind, at the same time, it's not a map where, first of all, if you're playing the Sage, you're not going to have double initiators, so you're not going to have an abundance of info. Even with Sky, it's not similar to, it's not the same as, I'd say, Sova and KO, right?
Yeah. So
that's one thing. I think a second thing is just the way the map is designed and the map is laid out. It's almost very hard to have a lot of good mid-round info, the same way as you can on Ascent and other maps. So it's not as detrimental to not have any pressure here when you're hitting B, because there's a lot of times defenders will be in these kinds of positions and won't know what is here, and what is on the other side, for example. You can deny this info, so it works a little bit more just being on one side, and even, you know, you see he's playing short, for example, he can play that and just instantly run to B because, again, the defenders are going to get in situations where
We
they
do love
don't know
Rust a lot.
if they're coming for a B here.
And actually, follow-up question to that, because now with the teleport change, it is now closer to showers, right? It allows you to have a faster rotation when you cancel the B hit. But now I see many teams actually use the teleport from A to B, which
yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how like
rotation from long to showers. Is
if
it
you keep
something
adding
that
teams,
like, plan around when they only TP through A to B.
if they're gonna
here,
add more in a
if
week,
there's
or I guess
commitment
there'll
to
just be
site.
some weeks where some teams don't
I would
play.
say, generally speaking, if you're
Just
seeing
have a longer
teams TP from
season.
short to B as attackers, then it's a panic. It's almost, we don't think we can get A, so we're going to go B. If they're doing it
Or
as
C4
defenders,
or-
it's
that's
generally
fucking
speaking
shit.
deny hooker control completely from the attackers.
Okay.
I would say it like that. So it's going to be a plan thing, but most
I
of the
love
time you're going
both.
to see it as a reactionary thing. It's very rare that you can almost base a game plan off of the teleport. It's going to be a lot of reactionary thing. It's going to be, you know, if you're playing defenders and you want to TP, it's going to be because you
I
want
feel
to
like
shut down anyone inside or just outside of hooker, for example.
Mitch should probably delete all
generally how it's
seafood.
going to go.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much. Hope you guys enjoyed
He
that.
doesn't like seafood. I'm sure he likes some
I
fruit.
enjoy it every single time, Lothar and Salah. Can we keep him? Like, do you want to throw a couple games so you don't make playoffs? We keep you.
Well, if BBL win this game, then
come on.
He has
BBL,
just
let's
shown
go.
that
Not I
the
was
cab's
supporting them.
empty.
But when it does come to Bind, I want to talk about the comms that they both ran last, because we do see some variations, but it's not like crazy differences. I think the major difference I want to talk about, first of all, is the Jet versus Raze. Of course, Kute's Jet versus Harmy's Raze.
Delete seafood and get in the ocean.
And also
Fair.
Grim versus Omen, so Aslan and Redgar's choices. So let's start with Jet versus Raze. You have a preference?
On a
What do you
team
think
which are
works better
playing
here?
in VCT, are
I
going to
think,
play in
of course, you're
LCQ.
gonna want to have the Raze in a lot of situations.
But yeah,
I think Jet
basically,
is gonna make it a
the
lot
teams
easier
that
to get
don't
out control
qualify
to
for
attack
Japan
than Raze.
will
Raze
play
can double
LCQ
cycle, but
or
the
will
Jet's,
play
you know,
LCQ to
dash
see if
and
they
smoke
make it
is
to
gonna be
champs.
much more consistent as a almost, you know, spear of attack. On defense, though, Raze is gonna 100% be better, right?
Is there
People
such
that
thing
he
as a
has is so
non-raw
consistent,
mango?
It's so powerful and it's so almost oppressive. In
Do
a way
people cook
that
mango?
It is a difference maker.
I assume they
think
would.
as a Jet on defense on Bind, there's not a lot of areas you're going to get, like Ascent mid, for example, you're going to get 100% value. I think you can a very good.
I've
Raze
never
IQ
seen
will
any.
be
I've
able
never
to
had
get value, but
cooked
it's a lot harder
mango.
than Raze.
Remember that Raze got nerfed in with the boom bot, so she doesn't take that space effectively on hookah because the lineup.
Yeah,
from
ripe
market
mangoes are
doesn't
great.
exist.
I
You
just
have
want to know what
advance
like
forward to
cooked
be
mango
open to that
sounds
potential
weird.
teleport push as well. But at the same time, she got a little bit buffed because of the teleport on showers. Because now the teleport of showers is perfect to put a nade from garden on B to help with the shower control for the defenders when there's a push towards showers.
Oh, you mean raw?
But I do agree with
okay,
you
you mean
completely.
raw in
I
that
feel like
sense.
Jet is a buff for the attacker's plan.
Oh, I
Raze
prefer.
definitely for defense, but
I
she's
prefer
still
ripe
capable
mangoes.
of using the smokes from someone else on the team. So if you pair it with, for example, a Cypher Cages to just kind of satchel into those areas that are helped with the other smokes, she kind of supplements the attack well.
I would say as well, Raze actually does have a very, singular thing on attack that no one else can do, especially the duelist roles, which is the nade is perfect for anti, bunkering. If people want to hide behind truck, hide behind triple on A, or hide behind sight on B, Raze makes that impossible. And a character that forces the enemy team to play in a way that they don't want to play or play in a way that isn't optimal is always going to be good, right?
I will say though, contextually, because I think Hugo probably will always favour the Jet on a comfort pick, but Safe on the other hand, we haven't seen him play on Bindia this season. Would you like him to go on the Raze or
I'm not going to add it, but thank you.
I think I want to see him on the Raze.
Bastard.
Him as a Raze, I played against it. It's very good.
Maybe I'll do it for tomorrow. I can't be asked to do it while I'm live.
For me,
because knowing me, I'll fuck it up.
On the Raze, and I want to see him aggressive. I don't want to.
Who do I support?
He can be a very conservative duelist, which is a great thing.
Everyone.
He can be disciplined. He won't overheat as much as
what do you mean? In like football?
Play the Raze
in
be in their face
esports, in life.
Raze being utilized more because she represents also more synergy. We have seen in the compositions. Viper
One thing I do love about
Faye
British
being
people though
used,
is they
that
travel to a
amount
different
of
country,
util
stay in the
that can
hotel
supplement
pool.
the
No, I
damage
don't do
from
that. I don't do that. I'm
as
not
you said,
accepting
like,
that.
It's 55
Don't
damage
put
with the
all
first
British
explosion,
people in
but if
together.
there's a snake
Like
bite being put in the
you
same
can't
spot,
you
suddenly
can't
the
just
55
bung me.
becomes
Like
110.
I do not. I
You can
never do
literally
that.
just get 3 frags because of that.
In
But
this
not only
game,
that, there's also Brimstone,
oh,
right?
specifically
Which
in.
represents so much zoning ability whenever you have
I've got to be
the
careful what I
Brimstone
say
launcher
here
that
because
the
every
ultimate
time I
from
say
Brimstone
anything
also
about
represents
like,
so much space for the attack.
oh, I
It's
quite like
paired up
Liquid, I
perfectly
just get
with
people.
Raze.
I get
Even
jinxing
with that
Liquid.
Boom bot nerf, I would
Yep, see,
hugely
MGO
favour the Raze on both
instantly.
sides.
I mean, the interesting
Football, I
interesting
support
thing
Tottenham
is that
Hotspur.
Liquid
Yeah,
play,
I know.
Omen,
Yeah,
Raze,
yeah. You don't even
and,
need to say it. Yeah,
BBL play
yeah,
Brim
yeah.
Jet.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
does that change
Yeah, I
anything
know.
for you guys?
Yeah, I know.
I think
Trust
Brim
me.
versus Omen is
I know.
interesting because I think Omen generally is going to be very good at almost defaulting and taking space.
I definitely
with the
don't support
one-ways
him.
with,
I can tell you
the
that one
things,
for free.
especially the TPs as well, are actually.
I won't say anything, don't worry.
Like a lot of that stuff,
Exactly.
force rotations.
So he's going to be very good in the build-up rounds. I think Brim is going to be extremely good at the bursting, free smoke
Liverpool.
down, molly down. Stim Beacon, we're going to run. Stim Beacon, I think Bind is one of the only maps where Stim Beacon gets a lot of
Things to
value
do
from
when
it.
in England,
So
leave.
it's
I
gonna
would
be
say
different
for a
style. I
good
think
portion of
generally
England, that's
speaking, Liquid
probably
are gonna play
true.
quite slow with this Omen.
I like
They're gonna
London
wanna take
though.
space. Red
I like
Bull can
London.
TP into some interesting areas, and that's
I
how they
like
play.
the
Brimstone's gonna be
hills in
more.
Yorkshire.
I feel like Bind catches the
Chelsea for
intent
life?
of the game
Yeah, I do.
designers from
I
Valorant
do.
perfectly.
Not
because
for
you
a
can
long period
clearly
of
see
time.
how
I
the
get quite
game plan
bored. There's not a
changes
lot
if you
out
have
there.
Omen or Brim.
London is
Brim
so
that
clean.
Instant execute plan. We just go all
I'd
in.
say that's a bit of a
Bad
sweeping
for a second,
statement.
but you're right, carry on, sorry.
What,
Brim
does
is
Spurs have a
like
chicken
all
on a
in,
ball?
we
What
just
more could you
push
want
in
in
with all
life?
the utility and he just runs in, while Omen is the more deliberate, like cunning, planning.
There's some pretty dirty
character
places
that
in
helps
London,
with gathering
but
those- that
maybe.
space. And you can see also that on Haven, where some teams favored actually Brim for quite some
Foster
time, but they
Oogway.
went back to Omen because I understand that
What?
now this map is a little more default based and the pace of the game slowed down massively.
I think sometimes they just come
You still
down
need to
comfort
take away my
based
point.
as
So I've
well.
already done
You
the
see
prediction for
players,
this
when they
game.
get shoehorned into a
I think
role,
I
they're just not ready to play.
I'd already
it's
took
actually
them.
detrimental for your team. You never want to do that. So in that case, Salah, would you rather someone, when it comes to the small differences of Omen, Brim, Jet, Raze,
Funny
would
you
you
said
rather
Master
just
Uguay
have your
because
player
I
on
have a
something they're
tall
comfortable
place
with,
eating
or do you
lettuce
think
on
it's
my
still
right-hand
better to
side.
kind of do what's best for the
And
map?
is his name Master
I think
Uguay?
It's a two-way thing. I think,
No,
of
it's
course,
Raphael.
your composition and what you want to do.
Right.
with certain
Oh,
players
why'd you call him that?
matters around your game. Your game plan has to matter. It has,
That's
you
just
have
what
to have
their
a strong
name
game
was
plan,
when we
you have
got
to have
them.
a strong vision behind why you're picking agents.
Was
But
one
at
of the
the
other
same
ones
time,
called
you are gonna get a lot of
Leonardo?
value from people being confident.
Hello?
Something I've learned as a coach is you can have the best anti-strat, you can have the best, read on everything. But if your players aren't confident,
There is a
it won't
smoothie
work. And if your
panha
players are
where we
confident,
cook
the thing
raw
that you think
mango.
is maybe bad will work. So
Okay.
confidence
It
is the
sounds
most important thing
sounds
in anything, but
interesting.
in Valorant, especially, it's almost paramount.
Let's clip that, please, for the ranked players who think filling is the thing to do in ranked.
Lothar, honestly, at this point, I feel like you need to give up on your on having faith in ranked players. Trust me. Yeah, okay, we're gonna head into agent select soon in just about 20 seconds. We've spoken a little bit about the differences, mainly because I feel like surely you don't deviate from the Viper and the Sky. I think that's kind of troll if you don't pick them right now.
What is this?
Like
What is this
Sky
DSG
exchange
tweet gonna be? Do
honestly,
I even want to have a look?
The main character for me on this map, if you play Raze, is
So
the
if we beat M82 and the
raw
Garbage
power that
Mad,
looks
and
is
next
just
week
so-
the
it's
Garbage
so massive,
G2,
but I
the
do
Moist
know
beats FaZe,
that the
and Mad
comfort of
beats
Sky is so
OR,
important
and
for the
MA. Oh
players because
fucking
it's
hell!
such an easier agent that people are accustomed to when it comes to playing the game.
Well, let's see what Safe is going to pick here. He was not here last
Ryan
week, so
sound
this
like
is
a
the first time
dad
we're
of
gonna see
4
him
on a Saturday
Bind, and
night,
he has gone for the
already
raise.
having chugged 6 beers,
well, Save on the
beers
Raze, we have
who
this
yelled at
Sky
his
both
kids because his
fake
team
gold.
lost
So we
0-2.
have apart
That's
from the
very
controller, we
specific.
have exactly the same comps, which is something that we have.
You might as well have
seen
just
on
shortened
both
that
teams,
down and just said
in the past.
arsehole.
And of course they do it. But in general, both of those teams don't have a
I think I would have
sentinel
preferred
here.
that.
So how do they approach defense against the Viper?
What's up, Euros?
The reason you're going to see Fade here is because she is very good anti-Viper. As soon as the wall goes up, you can prowl at her back. You can almost deny a lot of that presence. I think both teams have gone for the double initiator approach.
Mango
rather
chicken
than
sounds
the
very
Sage
good.
approach, and I think it's generally just going to be more about info, more about rotations.
Well, I can't wait.
Ryan does sound like he would yell.
Remind you guys, if Liquid win this map, they will be locked.
I feel like if someone like compiled like different data on you as a person, it comes out quite bad. If they've used this chat.
Sorry, we had to get the fist bump done out of the way. That was
Yeah,
the
but I
most
think that's
important part
purposeful.
of the pre-game itself. I don't even think they saw it. No, they don't need to see it. It's
Raw sounds enlightened.
Either way,
I'll take that.
Where do you lean for this game? Because I'm just... Both teams have had a
I remember
fantastic
doing a
map.
tweet about
BBL got a
Vikings
bit
when they
of
were playing
momentum
some
rolling behind
crazy
them now
stuff
as
back
well.
in the day.
Yeah, but it's so
And
hard to know if
a
I've
lot
ever
of
been
the
able to
Brazilian
fully
fans
answer
called me
which
an
way I
ascended
lean, but,
gringo.
in this case, I'm gonna believe in Team Liquid. I think, look, it was the Ascent train for
good
BBL.
compliment.
Definitely trust in that, but I'm a big fan of the setup with the Raze coming in. I think the Des talked so much about the nuanced differences between these two comps, but I think Safe's Raze so good, especially paired up with that Fade. One other big difference between the two comps, Brimstone versus the Omen. Brimstone does offer some line control, right, with the Paranoia.
Oh, we've had tech delays on both Pacific and EMEA, so it's been a long one.
You can sort of not be affected by the near side because they're really tight range.
And yeah, now we've gone to 3 maps in the first series, so there's still another series to go. That's the fun part of all this.